AZAM is back.
Well, Cory is with Habitat for Humanity as they build their first 3D printed house in Tempe. They do so much good for the community. It is impressive.
I want to see this, how you 3D print a house, Cory. So take us through this. I'm into it.
Yeah. You're going to be blinded by this technology. It is so cool. And in fact, this is sort of the end product. This is what these walls will look like. And you can kind of get an idea of how the printer itself is going to be sort of extruding this concrete as it goes back and forth, and you can see each layer there and varying degrees of thickness and so forth. But the good news is I don't have to tell you all about it because we got Deborah Bradley with us, the Chief Operating Officer of Habitat for Humanity. And thanks so much for getting up early for us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Cory. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, well, congratulations on this exciting technology. It's a German company from what I understand, but you've imported them here, and behind us is where all the action is happening. But as Tom swings around, sorry, we've got the sun kind of in our faces here, but give me an idea of just how it's working.
Absolutely. So what you can see right now is happening is the print head is moving along the path that the computer tells it to go, and it extrudes the concrete as it comes out of the printer head, and it goes along. The wall turns, comes back, and it's just layer upon layer upon layer until you have an 8-foot wall built.
And so you've built, first of all, you must build this enormous frame, so to speak, or that will hold the extruder, if you will. Right. But once everything is up, it seems like it operates exactly like any other 3D printer would that you might see on a smaller scale, right?
Yes, but this is a much, much larger scale than what you would have at your home. But the same basic principle. So there's a feeder that feeds the concrete into the machine, the hose that feeds it down through the extruder, and then it follows the program from the computer to the design of the home.
It's almost too impossible to imagine. I watch it and I see them on the small scale, and seeing it at this size, it's almost too much to take in. Can you imagine what it'd be like to exhume Ben Franklin or Thomas Edison and say, this is where we are now? Right. It's so impressive.
Right, and this is what we hope. We really hope that this technology will be that we can use in the future to build affordable housing, build it faster, build it less expensively, and with less waste than what we're currently doing.
Gotcha.
So we're really hoping that for this technology.
Yeah, well, I can see how once you really get the sort of the mechanics of it all dialed in, how long it takes to set up the framing and everything, you'll be able to just drop that off on any site, anywhere, and just get right to it.
Exactly. That's after the technology matures, that's exactly what we're hoping for. And really to make a dent in the affordable housing crisis. It's at an all-time high right now, and Habitat for Humanity wants to do something differently, look at the world differently, and we hope others will come look at the world differently with us.
Well, we love your mission, and what's the future for this house? Do you know who will be in here? What family will be taking residence?
Yeah, we have a homeowner that's qualified for this family through our qualification process, which means they have qualified for a mortgage with Habitat for Humanity. We will sell it to the homeowner, and they'll be out here later this week to finally get to see the product, and they're super, super excited to live in this home in the city of Tempe.
They are. Well, I won't get too close, but boy, just to be able to see Troy and Syleste, the way this concrete is stacked up. Now, how long, by the way, maybe you don't know, but if you do, how long does it take for this to harden? Obviously it's coming out in sort of a pasty consistency.
Correct. And it cures overnight. So we print about a 2-foot layer, and the house is being built in 3 phases, and then overnight it hardens, and the next morning it's cured and ready for the next layer.
Oh, I just love it. Well, I can't imagine what the world is going to be like, you guys, once this technology becomes very commonplace, but it's new here, that's for sure. First time, in fact, the first 3D printed house in America, am I right?
Well, it's the first 3D habitat home built in America, fully permitted, yeah. So we are very, very excited, and we're hoping that other habitats will be coming along. We know a few of them are kind of learning from what we're doing here, and we hope to see more of this in habitats across the country.
Deborah Bradley, she knows it all, and thanks for getting us out here early this morning. Love the whole idea, you guys. So more coming your way from Habitat.
It's got to be
I'm sorry,
the
Troy?
insulation. I mean, I wonder how the insulation is on that. I bet it'd be cool.
That'd be great, yeah.
I mean, is it better than wood and regular insulation?
Well, I would assume so. I mean,
Yeah.
you're essentially looking at a solid concrete wall. I assume your energy savings and the cooling abilities of this house will be pretty good.
Absolutely, yeah. It is going to be very, very energy efficient home, and we're going to be building to standards that would qualify it for being super efficient, super affordable, and sustainable over the long period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
That thing's not coming down
It's just
anytime
amazing.
soon.
No, not at
Concrete
all.
walls, and then like the fire danger's got to
Yeah.
be so mitigated. Right?
Yeah, it looks impenetrable and indestructible. You're right.
That's really amazing. Everything they can do with technology.
And do they just paint them like that, or do they put sheetrock? I guess they have to put. It looks
Yeah.
like they've got electrical,
Real
spark
quickly,
electrical.
will this be stuccoed or sheetrocked, or what will the exterior eventually
The
look
exterior
like?
will look like pretty much like what you're seeing. The house will be sealed, but you will be seeing the exterior
kinda
of the
cool.
concrete.
Very,
As part
like,
of the beauty
modern.
of this product is the aesthetics from the outside.
All right, well,
I'm fascinated.
it'll be a wonder to see for sure. It'll be a stopping point for lots of folks in the construction biz. They'll want to see how this works when it's all done. All right, we'll see you again in a few, you guys.
And helping give all of those stuck, folks who can't buy a house right now because it's so expensive.
Well, the
Because
lumber prices are
well, and you don't
crazy.
use lumber in this home, right? You're using a 3D printer, and think about all the lives that are changed through home ownership. It's really great.
AZAM is back.
Cory is in a hard hat, and he's getting to work, kind of.
A cement 3D printed house. Oh, there you are, standing right in the
Hey,
middle.
buddy.
I know. You cannot believe it. We're standing in the garage of this home, and we'll give you a whole tour here in a moment. But the good news is we have the guys who know everything about it. First of all, Jason Barlow, he's the president and CEO of Habitat for Humanity. And then this is Paul Mooney, and Paul is with 3D Construction. He has brought this German technology to America. And can you, in 30 seconds, tell our folks at home what is happening on this job site today?
Well, this is what's really exciting, is that here we've got the first 3D printed house in the United States that a family is going to live in, that is fully approved by a municipality. The electrical and the plumbing are all in the walls, which is up to American standards. But even beyond that, this home, with what Candelaria and Associates has done, is just going to be absolutely stunning. It's going to be the most stunning 3D printed house in the world.
Well, it really is exciting. I know, Jason, you're really jazzed about it. We'll let Tom kind of take us on a little tour here. But as we go, tell me, what does this sort of advanced technology mean for Habitat and going forward?
Well, we're always looking for new, innovative solutions to improve affordability. We believe there's 200,000 units short of affordable housing here in Phoenix now, and anything we can do to advance the affordability, lower the cost, decrease the time it takes to build a home, and reduce the waste is better for all of us.
It's so impressive to look at. And Paul, I think most people by now have probably seen on YouTube or on some television program a 3D printer on a small scale. You know, you can make a dinosaur or a part for a car. Are we looking at the same kind of technology here?
We are looking at the same kind of technology, but on a much grander scale.
Yeah, we're watching the extrusion right now. Tell me how this works.
Well, it's a concrete mix, a proprietary concrete mix that runs through, and then it just runs through and does each layer 2 inches wide, and it continues until it comes back around after it's set a little bit, which out here in Arizona, obviously, it sets a little faster than it would in other places. So your speed is dependent on how big your project is and your temperature conditions.
Mm-hmm. So you've set up this big gantry on the job site from which hangs this extruder. We're going to have to wrap up here in a moment, but let's say in the future, like 2 years down the road, how long will it take you to go from getting to the lot to essentially finishing the concrete work on a house? How long might that take?
Well, eventually we want to get this down to just a couple of days or maybe even a week. A production home builder takes about 30 days to build a home, and we believe we can ultimately build faster than that. Faster, a higher quality, and a lower cost. And that will just revolutionize, it will it will end the housing crisis, housing affordability crisis in the United States.
Wow.
And that's our ultimate goal.
Well, that is your goal too, Jason.
That is it. We're trying to find more affordable housing for all the deserving families that we have, that we partner with every year here in the Valley.
Gosh, well, we got to fly. How can people get in touch with Habitat? What's your website?
HabitatCAZ.org/3D.
Gotcha.
We want you to see the future differently.
Yeah, you don't want to forget the 3D part. Well, Troy, Syleste, you're seeing how it all happens right in front of your eyes. We're building a home in minutes rather than weeks. It's really impressive. Anyway, we'll send things back to you.
That is so impressive. Very cool. Thanks, Cor.